Okay, I think we are good to go. Aloha, everyone. I am Mr. Howard, and we are here to do some live streaming professional development. This is on um, Facebook. It's a little bit different. Try to do it on Facebook. Might go back to YouTube. We'll see what happens. I'm just playing around with some stuff, seeing what might work, what we got going, what we need to do to make it better so people have access to this stuff. So we'll go ahead and get started. We'll give people a chance to show up and participate. So if you are here, the best thing for you to do would be to go to the instructional technology website. So that's where you will sign in. So if you go to the website bit.ly/FPS EdTech, it will take you to this website. You can also go to the district website. I'll show you real quick. Fulton58.org, and go to where it says staff, and then go to where it says, I can never find it, educational technology. Go there. That'll take you to this website. Sorry, I'll put it up here so you guys can actually see it. So you want to go to Fulton58.org. You're going to go to staff, and then you're going to go to educational technology. Boom. Just like that. And so after you get here, you'll want to click down here, this little animated link that says click here for Livestream PD. That'll take you to the page that we're running the live stream off of. So that is where you will go and sign in. So just make sure to click that sign in link, fill out the form so we know who is getting their hour of professional development credit for this. And this is outside contract time, so make sure you note that in your PD logs. And then we'll have an evaluation, and then just a little advertisement. If you want to go watch the other live streams that we've had in the past, there's an archive of all those right here. So quickly, before we get started, we have a few more of these coming up. Next week, we will be doing indestructible worksheets. So creating worksheets that you can use with students that won't, they can't delete the words or the text or the pictures or anything like that out of them. By indestructible just means you don't have to worry about, like, you give an assignment to a kid and then 5 minutes later they're like, oh, you deleted all the words out of it. So that's indestructible worksheet. On the 15th, we will discuss digital portfolios. And then I don't know what we're going to do on the 22nd yet. So if you are somebody out there in the world and you want to learn something about instructional technology, that would be a good opportunity for you to shoot an idea to me and say, hey, this is something I'd like to learn more about. Mr. Howard, could you do a live stream session on that? And I will say, of course I will, because I love you guys and you deserve it because you're great. Okay, I'm going to go back to this page, and if you want to get to the resources for today's session, you can click here where it says starting a class Facebook page. And that is going to take you to this Google Slides. Now, you don't necessarily need these slides. These slides are just for, so you know, so we can kind of organize things, that's all. So don't feel like you have to save these slides or anything. It's just a way that we can kind of keep on track and not get off topic. And if you do ever need to go back, you can, of course, feel free to make a copy of this. And just, that's a good little reminder to, if you ever do want to make a copy of somebody's slide deck, just go up here to File, and you can either make a copy, so that will give you your own personal copy of this. So if I make changes to it, you would see, you would not see those changes. The other thing you can do is click up here, and you will probably have a button that says Add to Drive. You might have that here. Since it's my file, I can't see it, but you would have an option to add this file to your drive, and you can come back to it later. Okay, all right, let's get started. So we want to create a classroom Facebook page, and the reason that we might want to do that is, well, there's a lot of reasons why, but the main thing that you can do with a class Facebook page is make parent communication a very simple and easy part of your everyday routine. So just, if you ever need to get the message out really quickly and easily to parents, you can just post something on your Facebook page, and as long as you've had your parents invited to your page, then they'll be able to see what you do on there. And the nice thing about using Facebook is most parents have it, and most parents look at their Facebook page every day. So if you can get onto your parents' Facebook feed, you kind of have a leg up on feeding them information that they need to know about what's happening in your class. So once they like your page, then you start posting, cool pictures of stuff you're doing in your class, and then you can start posting things like upcoming projects and homework assignments and things, all sorts of events and stuff. Parents know all about that because it'll pop up in their Facebook feed. So that's the main reason you want to start a Facebook page. The session today, what we're going to be talking about is what you will, how to start doing that. And so the main trick about this, starting a classroom Facebook page, is that you don't actually want to start a page at all. What you want to use for your classroom is a Facebook group. And the reason that you want to emphasize a group instead of a page is groups are more private, they're easy to manage, you don't have to worry about if there's outside people who you don't want to have access to pictures or information of things that are happening inside of your classroom. You can block pretty much everybody in the world. And the thing with a page is they can be publicly visible. People can see them if you don't want them to. People can come and like your page even if you don't want them to. So we don't want to actually use a page, we want to use a group. So that's the main thing about today. Let's talk a little bit about the why we want to use Facebook in our classrooms. 1 in every 13 people over the world now on Facebook. There's no question it's a social revolution, but with over 70% of US web users on social platform, are you taking advantage of this engaged audience? So that's the thing, is like you have all these people who are already on here. Are you taking advantage of that, or are you relying on something like people's personal email, which, I'll be honest with you, I don't really even like to go into my own personal email, so if my kids' teachers are emailing me there, I probably ain't seeing it, just to let you know. But if you get something on my social feeds, those are things that I electively like to go look at. So that's, you're kind of exploiting my interest in that way. So what can a Facebook page do for your class? Sharing news, get feedback on stuff that students are doing, scheduling for class events. So you can actually post like upcoming events or things that are happening, or you can use like the scheduling and the events function in Facebook to like invite parents to stuff that's happening in your classroom, which that's cool. Like if you're having a party, or if you have a special event or a speaker coming in and you want parents and students to know, you should just use the Facebook events. You can do it that way. Share media, stuff happening in your classroom, videos, pictures. So easy. Snap a picture, post it on Facebook. Very easy to do that, and it's a great way to kind of take down the walls of your classroom a little bit, so parents know what's happening in your class, and maybe make them more comfortable with you and what you're doing in there with their students. Getting information out. So like we all have newsletters. I'm not saying get rid of your newsletters, especially if you're using something like S'more. This is a great place to post your newsletter, or to post information that could go into a newsletter. If you're putting newsletters in backpacks, those things don't always get looked at, paper newsletters. If you're using something like S'more and you're trying to invade somebody's inbox to get them the best information, that's not always the best way to go about spreading the word on stuff. So again, getting into those social media feeds and kind of using that in lieu of a traditional newsletter is a really great way to kind of bridge that gap between engaged parents and parents that you can't get a hold of. So I linked a couple of articles here, top 10 tips for using Facebook in the classroom. So if you're just kind of not sold on it yet, that's a place that you can start and get a little more information about it. And then there's an article, how schools can use Facebook to build online community. There's some uh, practical stuff in those articles where if you're kind of wondering, I don't really know what I would do with Facebook, I don't know why I would do this, that's just to kind of maybe, once you start a Facebook, oh, here's some things that you can start doing with it. And I think that's where a lot of people get caught with Facebook is, oh no, I have this Facebook page and all my parents liked it, but I don't have anything to put on there. So there's all sorts of things you can put on there. I mean, even if it's just pictures of students, work examples, new like little snippets of thing. Maybe you can quote things students say. Just try to find stuff that you can put in there. It doesn't have to be like the most earth-shattering content in the whole world. Believe me, a lot of the things that go on social media aren't earth-shattering, but they still engage us in a lot of ways. Okay. Okay. I forgot to mention this, but if you have a question, you can always post it in the Facebook chat box. I didn't mention this before. I also forgot to put the scroll up that's on the stream. So if you do have a question, or if you're trying to get a hold of me, you can leave it in the box, the chat box. There is probably like a 10-second delay, so I might not see it immediately, but I will try to get to it as soon as I can. All right, how to set up your Facebook page. So when you're creating your page, you will automatically be the admin for the site. That means you're in charge, you're the boss, everything's under your control. You don't have to create a new Facebook account. Some people like to, and I'm not gonna begrudge you if you want to do it that way, to create like a Facebook account that's specific for what you're doing for your parent engagement and your community engagement of using Facebook, but you don't have to. So like when I was in the classroom, I ran a Facebook group and I just managed it with my personal account, but I also keep my Facebook account pretty clean. I don't put a lot of risque or offensive or weird things that people could bother people. So that's up to you. You decide how you want to do that. I always found it easier to use my single personal account. Maybe you want to switch between the two. Totally up to you. A lot of people do it that way. So we want to create a Facebook group, and like I said before, the emphasis here is on privacy. We want to make sure that we are ensuring students' privacy, that if parents or kids don't want their picture to just be out generally on the internet, especially those who are averse to social media, we don't want to do that. We want to put this in a place where it'll be safe, and only the intended audience will be able to see it. Those being parents, other people in the class, school community, stuff like that. So pages are public for people to see. Public, people can comment on them. You can block the specific Facebook users, but who wants to deal with that? The whole point of Facebook is that it's like this open networking platform. Now, it does have a lot of great tools that you can take from that open social networking thing and put into groups, which is the thing that we're going to do. Groups can be made public or private. You can make them secret and just use invitations, which is probably the way that I would manage it, is to have a secret group that nobody could even look up, and you just purely invite parents or students to be a part of that page. That way you wouldn't have to worry about people who shouldn't have access requesting to join your group, which will happen if your group is visible. So if you just make it a secret group, you're not going to run into any of those problems. Don't send personal friend requests when setting up your group. Remember, you just want to send invites through the group function, and I'm going to show you how to do all this stuff. You can copy that into email. You can go into 6K12, get parent emails, put those into Facebook, and send those out, and it will work just like a charm. So when you are setting up your group, you want to understand this menu right here, and again, I will show you all this stuff, but you want to change your group privacy setting. Your options are public, closed, and secret. So just remember that public is viewable, anyone can see it, members and posts. Closed means anyone can find the group, but only members can see what's happening in the group or who's in the group. And then you have, as I would probably recommend, secret, where members can find the group, members can see the post, but nobody else will be able to find a trace of that on the internet anywhere. So that's my recommendation, is to use the secret group. Parent permission. So this is important when you are creating the group to begin with, the administrative side of things. It's just generally a good idea to involve parents in the process of creating the group. So send a letter home, just say, hey, I'd love to start a class Facebook group, and it'll be a great way for me to share content from the classroom, updates on what's happening, pictures, videos, updates on projects, stuff like that. So here is the page. Here, maybe you can put a link to the page and ask them to like it or something like that. And that way parents can at least reach out to you and say, hey, I prefer not to be part of this or have my kid on there or whatever. And then you just don't put that kid on that Facebook page. It's fine. It's, again, you have to respect their rights to privacy. And there's certain families in the district who don't want pictures of their kids taken and stuff like that. So understanding that, you want to clue parents into what's happening so they have the opportunity to maybe discuss that with you if they have questions. So then you'll have to invite parents to your group. So invite via email. You can go to your contacts if you have their emails in your Gmail contacts, or you can go to SIS and download all your parent emails that way. For those of you who teach like multiple sections of class, maybe it's not like you teach second grade and you got one group of 30 kids and all the parents, right? Like some of you teach 8 at different hours and you have all these, but it's up to you if you want to have everybody in the same class. Maybe if you teach like high school math, right, and you want to all your class are the same class, you dump them all into one and have like 100 students and parents and stuff in a class. That's fine. Or you can start one for every hour. That would be kind of a management issue for me, but maybe you just create like a one for your content area and you invite all the parents to join that, and then you can periodically add stuff to that closed group in that way. Admin notice: whenever you create a social media that you are going to use as part of your parent communication cycle, you want to make sure you let building administrators know and understand that you're doing that, and you also need to invite them to be a part of that group, like your group. You don't ever want to have any kind of closed contact with parents or students, anything like that. You can get in a lot of legal trouble doing that. You can cause yourself a lot of problems and grief that otherwise, if you would just invite somebody so they can kind of see what's happening and they understand the real story, if there's some sort of misunderstanding or confusion about what was happening in your Facebook group, that way, the door's it's just a way the door's open to people who can support you if, for whatever reason, there's an issue. So let your administrators know, invite them to like the page, make sure they will like the page. You say, yeah, I don't like this page. Okay. Alright. So that's going to do it for just talking about it. So the next thing is we are going to actually go to some Facebook. So I'm going to pull it up over here. And here is a Facebook. This is my personal Facebook. So over here, when you go to Facebook, so the Facebook's the first time, it's right here. We're going to click this little down arrow in the upper right hand corner, and you're going to go to manage groups right here. Not manage pages. Remember, we're not making a page. Don't you do it. Don't you do it. I want to manage pages. So much room for activities. All right, I'm going to go and click that down arrow and go to manage groups. Okay. So here's a bunch of groups that I'm in, and maybe groups that people want me to be a part of. All sorts of cool groups happening here. The thing that you are going to do is you're going to go over here to create group. So click create group, and then you'll give your group a name. So in this case, I will type, I'm going to have a super clever name here. We're going to call it Mr. Howard's class. Now, if you can think of something as clever, I dare you to think of something as clever as that. If you can do better, let me know, but that's pretty darn good. You pick something that is a reflection of your personality, the things that you're into, the things that you like to do. We're going to go ahead and skip this part because we're going to come back and do this later. You might not even have the emails. I would rather create the group and then come back and add group members later. So I'm going to skip adding people. You can do that, and you can leave a little cute little note here. Hey, would you please join my group? I'd love to talk to you more on Facebooks. We're not going to worry about that. We are going to just name our group. We're going to switch this. Now, this is, again, where you have to decide. You need to pick secret. Now, if there's some reason that you think secret won't work, you really need to be sure that you don't mind people having access to your group. Just in general, only bad things happen if people get access to what they shouldn't have. Secret's the best way to do it. So we'll keep secret so nobody will be able to find it. And then we'll click create. Now it'll take us to our group page. And here we are, personalize the group, all this stuff, blah, blah, blah. I would recommend as soon as you create your group, you start updating stuff like, you can put a banner photo here at the top, maybe a picture of the class, maybe a picture of your classroom. Make it welcoming, make it inviting. You can make an elegant design to put as the top part of your Facebook group. There's no reason you can't do that. You want to think of it like your classroom. You want people to walk in to a dirty, ugly classroom that looks like it was procedurally generated by an AI? No. You want it to look welcoming, comfortable, inviting, much like this Facebook page is not. Okay? So we would click choose photo. You can choose from your photos. You probably don't want to do that. The pictures of you at the beach with the koozie, you don't want that. You want to go to upload photo and find a picture of something that you've taken in your classroom before. So this is just a Hornet Robotics logo. We'll put that on here. Hey guys, there is a Hornet Robotics meeting Monday, September 30th at the FMS Library, if you're interested. I would not probably use this, although this is a good way. Like, you probably see this a lot on Facebook pages and groups where people kind of use that top banner as like a billboard. So like this, if I created a Hornet Robotics Facebook group, that would be an excellent way to spread the word that there was a meeting coming up on September 30th about the robotics group, right? So you can kind of rotate things in and out of that. If you don't want the pain in the behind of having to change that top level graphic all the time, you can just put a picture of your class on there and click save, and that's what it's going to be till you decide to change it in next September, whenever you update this again. Okay, so let's talk about a few other things we want to do with our group. Just some important things to think about while we're administrating this. If you click up here on About, you have some places to add information, descriptions, group type, stuff like that. It's probably a good idea to go in here and type in a little description. Hey, this is Mr. Howard's class, and in this class we do cool stuff. Boom. Thank you for coming to my page. And then over here we have discussion. So this is a place where you can kind of see maybe if people are leaving comments, what stuff they're talking about on your page, stuff like that. Members. This will be eventually where all the members of your Facebook group are. So you can see all the parents and stuff in here. If you ever need to send them a Facebook message, boom. Easy way to find them all in one place. Events. This will be where if you have an event that you want to maybe invite parents to or just make them aware of, you can pop in here, create an event. We're going to have a guest reader, room 117, and we're going to say cool people coming to read books. And then we're going to schedule that for the 28th. And then click create, and then all the people in my group are going to be able to see this event, and they can come. I'll click invite. I invite all those people in the group. All the members would be down here once we have created the event, all that kind of stuff. You type in their emails, blah, 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 boom, boom, hit send invites. Now those people are invited to my cool classroom event. Let's go back to the classroom page here. Photos. This will be where all the photos and stuff from your group are going to be. Moderate group. So this will be important to know because we're going to come back to this in a second. And then group quality. I don't really know what group quality is. I guess this is if you get in trouble. Oh, if you are spreading fake news, don't do that. It's a big no-no on the Facebooks lately that if you're doing fake news, you should stop doing fake news. It's not good. Fake news, not good. Fake news, not good. Okay, so that's all. That's like the general rundown of what you're going to be doing on your Facebook group. Let's talk about getting people into your group. So we're going to go to moderate group, and where are we? Member requests, invite. Where'd the invite button go? Members, here we go. So over here, if you go to members, and you're going to type in, they could be on Facebook if they're already friends with you, or you could start typing in email addresses here. Right? You type in the email, and then you click invite member. Or, no, you don't do that. I don't want my wife to be in this group, guys, so I'm going to X that because it's messing me up. So you type the name in here of the person you want to invite, or more likely you will paste in the email address. Okay, so that'll pop up, and here's your email. So if I click on that, boom, invite goes out to that person. I bet if I go open my email, I will have an invite, so you can kind of see what that looks like, although I don't see it yet. Maybe it's in the spam or something. But anyway, what will happen is get an invite in your inbox. The link says click to join my my fun group, my fun Facebook group. So let me check my personal email because it's not administrated with a different account. Okay, here we go. So you'll get something like this in your email. Joshua Howard has invited you to join the group, Mr. Howard's class. Groups are separate spaces where you can share photos and videos. Collaborate. Okay, all that junk your parents will see, and they will click join group here. Boom, your parents have now joined your Facebook group. You can go in and start creating that community, sharing out photos, all that kind of stuff. Now, maybe you know, it could be a slow roll. You don't have to have every parent on there before you are actually using it, but you do want to get like parents involved, because then, you know, they can start asking you questions, leaving comments on pictures, and that's when parents really start to love your classes, when you have this really cool online space where they can like see stuff their kids are doing, but then you're also in there like giving them information about upcoming events, all that kind of stuff. So I've sold it hard enough. I think you understand why you'd want to do the Facebook thing. I've tried to cover creating a group, starting with a group, everything you can do with the group, stuff like creating events, clicking on the members tab and typing in email addresses over here to invite new members. So there you have it. That's a whole pile of cool stuff that you can do with Facebook groups, okay? That's pretty much it. So this would be a point where if you want to wrap up the session, you can go back to our website. Oh, if there's any questions, leave them in the chat box. I don't even think anybody's watching this, so there's nobody leaving questions. So nobody's watching this. Cool, no big deal. Not bothering me because we'll put it in the archives. You can watch it later. But if you are watching this later, please reach out if you do have questions or comments about starting this. Totally happy to help you get going with this. I really, really encourage you to create a Facebook group for your class. It's a great way to, again, as all the stuff I've said, I'm not going to belabor the point again. If you would like to receive credit for this professional development session, you will need to do the following. Go back to the EdTech live stream page. Remember, there's many ways to get there. You can type in bit.ly/FPS EdTech, and that'll take you directly to the live stream page. You can also go to Fulton58.org and go up to where it says staff and click educational technology, and then click this little link down here that says click here for live stream PD. That's this page again, and there is an evaluation link here. So to get the credit for this, you need to sign in and then complete the PD activity evaluation. Then you must, I don't have the link on here, I need to add it, submit a artifact of learning. That means you go and start a Facebook group. You can invite me to the group, that's fine. That way I can see it. You can take a screenshot of the group and email it to me. However it is you want to show me that you've done the task that we have covered in today's session. Email that to me so I know, or I have some way of knowing. And then, and only then, you receive your hour of professional development credit for sitting and sticking around here for the past 31 minutes. So that's not a bad deal. So take the next 20-30 minutes, create your Facebook group, and then shoot me a little evidence that you've done it, and then you'll get your credit. Alright guys, this session is over. So I'm going to cut the stream off in a second, but like I said, please reach out if you have any questions. I want to do this. Let me go do this. So we have other live streams coming up next week. We're going to talk about Google Classroom updates. How did that get lost in the shuffle? So Google Classroom updates we'll probably do next week. Then we'll do indestructible worksheet. We'll do digital portfolio, and then in November we will have TBD audience choice. And then so I'll update this because I don't know. I thought I'd updated it already. So on me for doing a bad job. Bad Mr. Hard. Bad Mr. Hard. You did a bad job at your job. You're bad at your job. Okay. Okay, guys. Thank you for watching, and I love you, and goodbye. Okay. Okay, guys. Thank you for watching, and I love you, and goodbye. Okay. Okay, guys. Thank you.